Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Sona 64, and I think by now you guys have realized that I don't really churn out as many commentaries or videos as I used to or as I want to. And that's primarily because my life has pretty much just been work, my girlfriend, and I guess building PCs because I'm getting a big tax return back. This year is different versus like the last couple of years when my dad could claim me, and also when I worked. I only worked like 8 to like 6 months a year because I worked at a theme park and it was seasonal. Now I have a job that you know I work every day. And last year I worked basically from January to December. I worked a normal job, a grocery store, and I'm getting a pretty decent return. At least that's what the IRS is saying. Hopefully there's like no hiccups or no audits or whatever people have when they file for a return. And because my return is simple, and if you guys have to fill out your own tax returns, I would suggest going with a simple and easy return. If you like, I didn't do anything last year. I didn't own property, I didn't own stock, I don't have any dependents, I wasn't in school. I didn't have any extra stuff that most people would probably end up putting on their tax return. And I looked at it too. I looked at everything. There was nothing that I had. So, a simple return, a simple W-2, I suppose, is the best bet for me. It's the best and fastest way to get a return, and I'm getting a pretty decent return. I don't want to go into detail because I don't know if that's like against the law to like talk about how much you're getting in return. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just over exaggerating. I just want to keep my anonymity as far as money goes. But yeah, I'm kind of excited, and so I've primarily just been focused on computer parts as well because I'm looking to build a new computer. I'm going with Intel. I've been wanting to with Intel for like the last couple of years, but I've been swayed by a buddy of mine, or Bullseye, I guess, because he has an 8-core and it's more affordable and it does perform well. And he's right. If I did get an 8-core, it would perform well. I would not have to worry about, you know, performance. Honestly, I mean, he's so far, I guess, in the last 24 hours, probably less, because he recently just got the motherboard for his i7. He's been enjoying Intel as far as CS:GO is concerned, but he's looking for like marginal yet noticeable to huge performance increases because he paid premium for Intel, and I don't blame him. If you're gonna choose paying, what is it, $250 for, or is it 200? No, I'm sorry, it's 300. I'm thinking of Micro Center's price for Core i7s, but I think retail an i7 4790K is a little over 300. So, you're paying premium for this processor versus a less than $200 8-core processor that you can overclock really, really good, and you still have 8 cores, and you have a really, really high gigahertz or whatever frequency. Sorry. So I'm kind of holding out for that to get his full review on it before I get my return and pay for an i7 over an i5. Now, as you guys know, I do a lot of video editing, but I've kind of scaled back the video editing, and that's what I kind of want to address. I want to address the fact that I know I don't really upload as much. I know I don't really bring out good content, let alone any content, a lot. And that's, not just because the job and the girlfriend and also wanting to build a new computer, but it is partially this computer. It's simple, it's basic, and rendering, while it does take less time than my gateway did on the dual core 2.0 gigahertz processor. I think it was like an AMD Athlon 64, no, 52, I don't remember. It was old AM2 processor that was bad, and it was in a gateway, and it was bad. And don't get me wrong, it's not like the processor overheated or anything, which is funny because my AMD, I had to lower the frequency and lower the voltage so that the temps don't go super high, because I think right now they're sitting at 68. While some people might consider that high, believe me, it was hitting like 90 for a while, and I was like, okay, I gotta underclock this. Now it's funny because I've underclocked this processor, and I didn't really see a performance decrease. In fact, I mean, at least in gaming, but in fact, I did a 3D Mark test yesterday with the lower clocked processor, with this processor, and I clocked it lower. And last time I did the test, it was in June or July of last year, and I got a higher score in Skydive. So I think that has mostly to do with the graphics card, or not just the graphics card, but like the graphics card driver. You know, because NVIDIA, they increase performance with drivers, and so basically what I did was I got a slightly better score, which is good because you should be optimizing. So I was happy about that, but I think that the processor score, at least the score that would have to do with the processor, didn't really change much. And I mean, I'm okay with that. Like I said though, this processor is not that great for video editing. It's basically just something simple. If you were looking to build a computer without a graphics card, which I had did for a bit, but then I decided to get a graphics card because I game, and you need to game on a dedicated graphics card if you're going to game seriously. You can game on an APU, but it's not really as effective as, say, a GTX 650, which I'm using, or even a GT 740. Honestly, you really need a discrete graphics card. So mostly I've been thinking about that, and that's not really much to talk about. What am I going to talk about when I start a video? Oh yeah, so I'm a little bit closer to getting my i5. I can't make a 10-minute commentary about that, but I can make a 10-minute commentary about making said commentary that I won't make, because talking about going to talk takes a long time. Mindfuck. So, anyway, bottom line, as soon as I get a new processor, we'll see how the video editing and stuff changes, because I'm looking to do some big stuff with an Intel. I mean, my buddy, he was having, or Bullseye, he was having problems with the hyper-threading thing, which I'm worried about because I wanted to get an i7 primarily for hyper-threading. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do on that front. I mean, I have a water cooler, but he was water cooling it too, and he was having issues, and I don't like the sound of that. So, not entirely sure what we're going to do there, but we're going to try to make it work because I really want to utilize hyper-threading. It's a big deal. Hyper-threading essentially makes your processor work more efficiently than it normally would. And that's kind of what gives it a step up over the AMD 8 cores, is the hyper-threading. So I'm hoping he's going to also do some benchmarking with hyper-threading if he can get it to an acceptable what is it, temperature? Yeah, temperature, because he was having problems with heating and stuff. So if you can get it to an acceptable temperature, and then benchmark hyper-threading versus non-hyper-threading, and then tell me the difference between those two over his 8-core, then I'll have a decision to make. Or should I get a i5 4690K? Or should I get an i7 4790K? Now, remember, I'm getting these from Micro Center, so both of these processors will end up being less than $300. It's a bargain deal either way. The i5 is $200, and the i7 is $279. $79 or $69? I'm pretty sure it's $279. So I gotta wait for his review of that, and then I'll have a decision to make. I already have a motherboard picked out, because apparently if you pick out your motherboard with the processor on there, you save $40 on any motherboard that it matches with. So it doesn't matter if I get like an ITX motherboard or a micro ATX, as long as it's a socket that fits that motherboard, or a socket that fits the processor, excuse me, then I save $40. So I'm hopefully going to go with that. And I'm going to leave you guys with this end of the video, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you want to leave me a like or a comment, actually. I don't really care about likes or dislikes. It's comments that I'm more interested in, so I know how to, regulate my channel as far as content goes, because I kind of want to upload stuff that people want to watch, as well as stuff that I care about. You know, I like these kind of videos where I talk about my life and what's going on and how everything is going, you know, as far as PC goes, because I'm a PC gamer and I also video edit. So I like to talk about that stuff, and maybe you guys want to know about it. If you don't, then maybe you enjoy the gameplay of me getting the final kill cam punch in the face to this guy. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you guys later.